So here is how we can get the iPad to read out loud, and it can read text on a website or it can read it on other text on the iPad. So you need to go to Settings, and when we're in Settings we want to be in General, which is about halfway down the screen. You'll see it's highlighted here. When I click on General, I need to go to Accessibility, which is about halfway down the screen again. And then at the bottom of the first group of options there is Speech. So I'm going to select Speech. And I want to make sure that this speech selection up top is toggled on. So if it's off, you'll see those options go away. But when I click it, it gives us some other options. Don't do speak screen. It'll speak everything that's on the screen, and that gets really annoying. You can change the voices. I'm not going to worry about that. But there's a speaking rate down here, and you can have students adjust the speaking rate so it can be very, very slow or very fast. Where I have it right here is generally a good rate. I'm going to just move it a little bit so you can hear how fast it goes.
Speak selection reads selected content.
So that's a pretty good pace there. Also make sure you turn on highlight content. This will then, it'll highlight each word as it is spoken so students can track as it's reading it out loud. And those are the options we want to have turned on. So now let's say I go to a website. I pulled up, and we want to be in Safari, which is the default web browser on an iPad. Looks like the compass. So I'll click there. And I pulled up a News ELA article here. Now the first thing I like to do before I have them read it out loud is if you look at the address bar up here on the very, very top, you'll see those little lines right next to the web address. So let me click off. So you see those three little lines up there. I'm going to touch that. And that puts this into reader mode, which takes out all the ads and all the distractions. We just have text and then that one picture from the article. To have it read out loud, what I'm going to do is take my finger and I'm going to push down on the words until it turns blue, and then I'll release. And you see you get those little, they're like little dots. I can click and drag on those dots to highlight a paragraph or a sentence. I'll just do this first one. And then, when I'm ready for it to read out loud, I will click on Speak.
St. Louis, Mo. Many people are worried about the water in Flint, Michigan. It has too much lead in it. Lead is a metal that is poisonous to humans.
Now you'll see what I did was I held down again and it gave me those options, and one of them was pause. So if we need to stop, mid-paragraph or mid-sentence, we can do that. Another nice thing is if students are reading and they just are struggling with one word, they can just highlight that one word and have it spoken out loud. So let's say they're reading this and they got hung up on the word terrible. They could just highlight the word terrible by holding their finger down over it and then do speak.
Terrible.
And notice there's also define, so they could click on that and they could get the definition of the word as well, which is pretty exciting. So that's how we can have our iPad read out loud to students. Again, in Safari, using this reader mode, it's a little easier to select the text, so that's it with reader mode. And if you have any questions, let me know.